Justin Bieber didn't post a message. He didn't explain himself. He didn't defend his marriage. Instead, he let a song speak, a song filled with guilt, regret, and words that many fans believe were never meant for the public. And within minutes, Selena Gomez's name was everywhere again, while Hailey Bieber responded in a way no one expected. This wasn't just music. This felt personal. Toward the end of the year, when most celebrities were posting celebrations, gratitude, and excitement for a fresh start, Justin Bieber did something very different. He didn't speak directly. He didn't explain himself. Instead, he let music talk for him. And sometimes, silence paired with the right song can say more than any interview ever could. Justin shared a song filled with regret, guilt, and emotional surrender, lyrics that openly admit failure, hesitation, and the inability to fight for a love that once mattered deeply. Lines about expecting hatred, asking for forgiveness, and being unable to undo the past instantly caught fans' attention. This wasn't just any song. It was a song that mirrors the most painful chapters of Justin's public love story, the one the internet never truly let go of. Fans immediately began asking the question everyone was thinking, but no one could prove. Who was this really for? Was this about his present life, or was this a quiet conversation with someone from his past? The vulnerability in the lyrics felt too raw, too specific, too familiar to ignore. And when an artist like Justin Bieber, someone who carefully curates his public image, chooses this kind of message to close the year, people listen closely. What made it even heavier was the timing. End-of-year reflections are rarely random. They're emotional checkpoints. And Justin's choice didn't feel like closure. It felt like unfinished emotional business resurfacing when everything else went quiet. What truly sent fans into a spiral was a single line in the song Justin shared. "Mark my words, you're all that I have." For longtime followers, that line wasn't just emotional, it was historic. Because "Mark My Words" is also the title of one of Justin Bieber's own songs, a song he openly admitted in an interview was written about Selena Gomez. In that interview, Justin confirmed that multiple tracks from that album were inspired by Selena, and "Mark My Words" was one of the most intimate. A song built on promises, devotion, and the fear of losing someone you believed was your forever. So when fans noticed the exact same words reappearing years later in a completely different context, the connection felt impossible to ignore. To many, it didn't feel accidental. It felt like a callback, a memory resurfacing. A chapter Justin himself once said defined him emotionally. The internet quickly filled with reactions saying this wasn't about drama. It was about unresolved feelings and emotional echoes that never fully faded. People began replaying old clips, revisiting interviews, and drawing emotional timelines, not because they wanted chaos, but because Justin's own words invited interpretation. Music has always been his most honest language, and this time it sounded like regret speaking softly but clearly. As if that wasn't enough, Justin shared another song days later, and this one hit even harder. Lyrics about calling someone late at night, wondering if they feel at home in the life they chose, questioning whether something is wrong beneath the surface. These weren't celebratory lyrics, they were lonely ones. Lines about thinking of someone at 2 a.m. struck a nerve with fans, because those hours are when honesty is unavoidable, when distractions fade, when feelings you've buried come back demanding attention. And Justin didn't just share the song, he let the lyrics stand on their own, knowing exactly how deeply they would be analyzed. Fans described the song as emotionally confusing, even concerning. It didn't sound like someone settled or at peace. It sounded like someone reflecting, doubting, questioning paths taken and paths abandoned. And once again, Justin offered no explanation, which only made the message louder. Social media filled with comments asking whether Justin was revisiting old love, current struggles, or simply using music to process emotions he couldn't articulate publicly. Whatever the truth, one thing was clear: these weren't random posts. They were emotionally intentional. While Justin's posts felt introspective and heavy, Hailey Bieber's response struck a completely different tone. She shared a message emphasizing that she has spent 10 New Year's Eves with Justin, a statement meant to reinforce stability, loyalty, and longevity. But the internet remembers details, and fans were quick to point out that in 2018, that timeline briefly broke, the year Justin spent New Year's with Selena Gomez during their short reconciliation. A moment that history never erased, no matter how much time passed. Hailey's caption, paired with a middle finger emoji, was interpreted by many as defensive rather than confident. To critics, it felt less like celebration and more like frustration, a response to the constant resurfacing of a love story she can never fully escape. Comment sections exploded. Some defended her fiercely, others criticized her harshly. And once again, the narrative shifted away from facts and into emotional symbolism, where social media thrives. After Hailey's post went live, the internet did what it always does when it senses emotional tension. It started connecting dots. Fans weren't just reacting emotionally anymore, they were dissecting timelines, lyrics, captions, and past interviews with renewed intensity. What stood out most wasn't anger, but confusion. People weren't asking who was right. They were asking what is really happening behind the scenes. For many longtime followers, Justin's behavior didn't resemble someone at peace. His song choices, his silence, and the timing of his posts felt reflective rather than celebratory. It reminded fans of earlier periods in his life when he used music as an emotional outlet rather than public statements. And that familiarity made people uncomfortable, because it suggested a cycle, one he had tried to escape. At the same time, Hailey's message was read as a response rather than a coincidence. To some, it sounded confident. To others, defensive. The middle finger emoji became a symbol fans argued over endlessly. Was it playful, or was it frustration finally slipping through? The split in interpretation only deepened the divide online. What made this moment different from past speculation was how quiet Justin remained afterward. No clarification, no follow-up, no attempt to steer the narrative. That absence allowed the story to grow on its own, fueled by memory, emotion, and unresolved history that many fans still feel personally connected to. Justin Bieber's relationship with Selena Gomez wasn't just a celebrity romance. It was a decade-long emotional storyline followed in real time by millions. Fans watched them grow up, fall apart, reunite, and fracture again. For many, that story never truly ended. It simply stopped being updated. So when Justin shares lyrics about guilt, regret, and emotional distance, people don't hear abstract art. They hear echoes. Echoes of hospital visits, public apologies, religious rebirths, and moments where Justin openly admitted he had hurt people he loved deeply. Those admissions live permanently online, ready to be revisited whenever something feels familiar again. This is why even years later, a single lyric can reopen emotional debates. It's not about choosing sides. It's about emotional continuity. Fans see a man who has everything materially, yet still gravitates towards songs about longing and emotional confusion. That contradiction is what keeps people invested. And while Selena has remained mostly silent, choosing privacy and healing over public reaction, her absence from the conversation speaks just as loudly. In a world where silence often means restraint, fans interpret her lack of response as maturity or distance, depending on perspective. Beyond the triangle of names, this moment reveals something deeper about Justin Bieber himself. The post